Good afternoon, everyone. I know you're coming up on lunch, so this is basically you're kind of waiting to kind of get out of the room, grab your lunch, bite in. So we'll try to and keep this short. I need a clicker and the presentation going. Okay, awesome. Um, Before I kind of jump into Commerce 3 and what we are doing to kind of power the next wave of retail infrastructure, maybe what I'll start off with is a quick little introduction about myself. You can't join the dots looking forward. It's always looking back that some of these things come together. But this is I've spent a career entirely in retail, working on different parts of the retail ecosystem, from building systems for powering the supply chain at Daimler and Benz, to subsequently jumping in and creating some of the largest payments infrastructure as Citibank, and subsequently jumping out to working closely in Flipkart on the consumer stack, powering out some of the revenue and the commerce infrastructure that really brings consumers to buy and shop with us. And that's literally got me to bring in this insight about how we see commerce kind of evolving and the commerce infrastructure evolving to the next wave. Um, and while I jump out and speak about the next wave, maybe let's dial the clock back a little bit and talk about, look a little bit, peek back a little bit into time, right? And look through commerce as it has evolved, a little bit of e-commerce as it has evolved over the years. We are right now in the third decade of e-commerce. Amazon is in its 28th year of operation today. That was really the starting point of e-commerce as we see it, where digital operations were really not a very well understood things. And Amazon kind of consolidated that all under a single stack, really bringing everything from how you acquire customers, bring awareness into customers, to ensuring that you can deliver on those experiences and get customers to buy and purchase, to kind of ensuring that you can eventually fulfill that promise and get them into delivery into the same day experience, right? And that's really led to this $1.5 trillion of commerce today flowing through Amazon. That's been almost like the first wave of commerce. Amazon continues to grow strong and to tax retailers and us brands as they scale up, right, in this journey. The second generation of what we see of that has been evolved as retailers. We all needed to make our own presence felt. We needed to set up our own shops. We've seen platforms like Shopify break out of here, but beyond Shopify, from the Salesforce Commerce to SAP Commerce to big commerce to Magento, all of these kind of break out and help you set up your online stores. And these online stores have really been at the heart of what we see as Commerce 2.0, this wave of ensuring that you can bring your own brands online, have this conversation with your customers. But where are we headed to from here? What's next up? And while we say about what's next up, maybe it's good to say about something that's very unique and happening in the moment today before we kind of jump out into what's the future looking like, right? And this unique story that we speak about today is the India first story, what we're seeing happening here in India. And it's not only about this consumption and demand that is at the forefront. While the world is looking globally at a recession, in India, we're very strong in our economy. We're looking forward to kind of say that we are projected to grow by 6.5%, 7% this next year. And it's not only demand, which is kind of shooting through the roof, it's manufacturing, it's production, which is also kind of driving this next wave of growth. We are not just folks who are kind of ensuring that we consume, we are also creating for the global economy. And we're becoming this nation of billion, not only consumers, a nation of billion makers as we see it. Everything from products to services to software to brands coming out of homegrown from India. And you've seen in some of these breakaway wins already happening in this space today, right? And as we are kind of a part of this economy, of this growing economy, what we see is that this very uniquely Indian economy kind of coming together in this great Indian bazaar that is now set to step forth into the digital arena and into the online space itself. And that's where we see as the next wave of retail really coming together, is bringing this bazaar online. And we'll speak a little bit about why things about this bazaar are different and how it's really going to power the next wave of infrastructure for commerce, right? You see, this bazaar is slightly different from what we have seen in the past. Before is that, as we are saying about, hey, we need to come online, do some of these omni-channel operations. What we really need is infrastructure that's seamless from online to offline. It's connected, it's always on, and it helps you go everything from saying that how do you kind of bring your products online through listings, some of the initiatives that we're seeing already at ONDC happening, to products like Unicommerce emerging, Vinculum emerging, which are kind of ensuring that you can make your listings better, to payments, where UPI has been this unified infrastructure across the nation. And this is something that even the West is now looking forward to. How can we bring a unified commerce infrastructure across our entire country, which makes it seamless to say that, hey, you can go to a Kirana store, start paying it, to saying that I can come into the five-star hotel and start paying it. Everything's kind of unified through this unified payments infrastructure. And now on the logistics and on the delivery side, where we are seeing this emergent private players also emerging, kind of ensuring that we have the same day delivery capabilities as an Amazon brings to the table. As retailers, these are all enabling us to kind of break free from the shackles of saying that, hey, we need to be held hostage to the marketplaces to kind of scale our business, but we can go make this on our own as well. But as this happens, there's something critical missing. And can you guess what's that? In India, we have this saying called Atiti Devo Bhava, and essentially we treat our customers as our guests, the customers are our gods, but essentially the customer is the beating heart of any Indian bazaar. Without the customer, the bazaar does not exist. And this customer is really not thinking about coming to the bazaar only for shopping. For him, the bazaar is also a place for entertainment and learning. The bazaar is also a place for community and connection, and along with products and shopping. So when we think about seeing retail evolving beyond this, we have to think about how do we kind of bring this uniquely bazaar-based constructs online, rather than say that, hey, how can we bring our stores online? The real challenge for us is, though, how do we productize all of this, right? And if you have looked over all the conversations that we have had over the past few hours, it's always been about, like, let's put our customers first, and that's where our conversations about retail really start. But really, to build a customer first bazaar, a customer first store, you need to think different in terms of your stack. You need to think about how do you kind of ensure that you connect everything from data to channels to experiences all are under a single system, and then subsequently create how do you kind of communicate them back into the channels that also means shifting the way that you kind of build products and create products, from thinking about products to benefits, from thinking of, instead of loyalty programs, to community programs, and thinking about how the consumers today are now looking beyond just products as consumption needs. They're looking at products also as an extension of their own identity and expression. And this is where we kind of see as this next evolution of retail. So when we speak about retail, how it's shifting, how Commerce 3 is evolving and the infrastructure is evolving for that. While Generation 1 was about this centralized online retailer, Generation 2 has been the unbundled store in some sense. The Generation 3 of retail, as we see, is the network bazaar centered around the customer. The customer first bazaar is where we see as it coming together. And this is really an economy that we are supremely proud and supremely kicked to be a part of. This is where Commerce 3 is evolving. As part of that, what we are doing is a small part of bringing this consumer stack to this connected bazaar, helping you, each one of you, I don't think it's moving forward, helping you, each one of you, set up your online stores, but with this very customer first stack at the heart of it, and ensuring that you can go from understanding creating identities of your customers, to profiles of your customers, to understanding the traits, to eventually creating experiences that you can deliver across each one of these, creating these taste profiles that you can eventually lead to personalize and deliver, have these one-on-one conversations. Because when a customer is walking into your store, it's not walking in. Today we treat our customers like one-time dates, rather than somebody who we want to really have a relationship with and we want to continue to build with. The only way we scale is by connecting with the customer, and that's really the stack that we're bringing to the front. Excited to be talking to you outside this, and thank you for your attention.